Welcome back everybody, Zed at Imperium Games. I'm very pleased to start this small series of what you might call, Zed's take on finance and MTG. We've mentioned this, I guess, a couple of times, or I've mentioned it a couple of times on various videos. You know, Magic the Gathering for me is something that I enjoy playing. You know, I totally get that if you go on various sites, a lot of websites are built around on the number of YouTube websites that exist. Several of them are very focused on how we can talk about Magic as a negative product, the cost, the value, all of that. I get that. I totally get it. You know, if you're going in as an investor or even as a player and you say, you know, my God, it's an expensive product, I invest into it, I'm not getting my exact value worth. This is not the perspective that I take on it. I enjoy unboxing, I enjoy playing, you know, I'm a casual player, I know a fair amount about the game, but I'm not a pro player. So I want to give you a little bit of context around this so that you can understand where I'm coming from. So first of all, let's take a quick look at what my personal collection looks like. So you can see it scrolling now on screen. I have about, I guess 65, give or take, 65, 70 different boxes that I've been collecting over the past 10 years. Now you can see underneath the boxes that I've said this before, all down under here, I don't know if it's coming up on camera, I have a crap load of other, these boxes right here, you know, that have all been divvied up into commons, uncommons, and, you know, I've cataloged them. I don't know if this is going to come up well on screen, but they're all cataloged. You know, so I've got all of my dividers, and I've actually divided them up by if it's a creature, if it's a spell, and if which kind of creature is it. You know, if it's vampires, all of the vampires are there by color and so forth. So this is the way I did my own sort of filtering of everything I've got, just to be able to build my decks quickly based on not the name of the card, because my God, I probably figure I have 100,000 different cards, but certainly by I'm looking for a a vampire or a I don't know, how do you say, a goblin or something. I'll know where to go and get them. So as you can see here, I'm a casual player, and what I started doing is 10 years ago. It just works out like this, and I know I'm going to come off of camera, but it just works out like this. The very first box that I purchased, sort of to build my reserve, was Scars of Mirrodin, okay? This was distributed back in 2010. I don't even remember if I opened up a box of Scars of Mirrodin. Maybe, in all likelihood, I purchased the box and maybe went out and bought some cards because I couldn't afford to buy 2 of these. So it worked out that one of my kids, I had my second son in 2010. In October of 2010, he was born. And this is when Scars of Mirrodin came out. I think it was on October 1st, 2nd, somewhere around there. Scars of Mirrodin came out, and I said, you know what? I've been playing Magic since 1994, 95-ish. I'm going to start buying one each of these boxes, you know, so that when he hits 25 years old, I'm going to have a collection that I'll just be able to hand over to him, you know. My idea wasn't so much the value of the investment. I was just saying it's going to be a great gift for him when if he has the interest and if he doesn't find it cheesy and all of that, he'll have all of these boxes for him in what we've nicknamed our reserve, right? So if I go out and I buy a box of Throne of Eldraine, you know, you got to know, I'm going to be hitting 49 soon. My birthday's coming up in about a month now. So my life is a little bit more stable. I have a full-time job, you know, I have a little bit more disposable income than I had when I was 20, obviously. And even 10 years ago when I was 39, I didn't have the same kind of disposable income I have now. So I'm sort of the regular Joe, the guy who's been collecting sort of on and off. I don't have a million boxes of each of these. My name is not Rudy. You know, I'd like to, but that's not who I am. My collecting does not impact the market. So I'm explaining all of this. I'm taking a little bit more time because I figure, you know what? If you're the regular Joe and you want to figure out, is it worth it for me to just put a couple of boxes aside? What does it take? What does it cost me as a regular Joe to do this? And why that's interesting is because, look, Peter and I launched Imperium Games officially on August 1st, 2019. So we still have access to product that goes back about 2 years. That's sort of the journey or the life cycle of a product at our distributors. We can still get it at pretty much the launch price that it was 2 years ago. And we're going back, look, this is 2019, this is pretty much 2018. I can still get some Ixalan. There's still Kaladesh, although Kaladesh is not available at the rock bottom price, neither is Dominaria. Some of these we can still get for like $115 plus tax plus shipping. So it's gotten kind of interesting for our patrons as well as for ourselves that if I want to put aside a box for myself, when I bought Scars of Mirrodin 10 years ago, when it came out, I believe I probably paid $140, taxes included. I picked it up at the local LGS. Now you go through time here, we started having access to this content about a year ago. So at the time, Rivals of Ixalan and Amonkhet were also selling for around $150, $155. So you could sort of say that the average of each box that I've ever purchased is about $145, $147, which is what, even up to $150, which is what we sell them now for. If you go on to Patreon, how do you say, Theros is coming out, we sell it for $147.50, taxes, shipping included. So what I want to do is, let's go back on a few of these. So again, I'm going to show you once more, as you can see in the scrolling that's coming by right now, I've divvied these up. I meant to do these by year, but after all, it works out better to do this by block. So we're going to go through each one of these blocks. We're not going to do them all in this video. It would be ridiculously long to do that. I'm going to start just in this video with the Scars of Mirrodin block. And it'll show you a product that I purchased for $147.50. It was cheaper than that. It was $140 probably back then. But let's give everything here an average of what we are asking people, what our asking cost is of $147.50 on any one of these products, and let's see what it's worth today. Let's start with the Mirrodin block. So Scars of Mirrodin, Mirrodin Besiege, and New Phyrexia. Let's see what those are worth today, exactly 10 years, and what it cost me to actually put them aside. You know, in effect, I took the 3 boxes, I shoved them into a cupboard somewhere. My wife never saw them, my kids never saw them. They've been sitting there, you know. And the question comes around as well, where is the, I thought I had another one. Oh, here it is. So, right, we have 1 or 2 of these left. I don't have any of these personally, but question is now, is a product like Throne of Eldraine, you know, we know we're comparing these sort of to the iconic Masters, Modern Masters, Eternal Masters, sort of the new product in town. How well do they grow these things? Right now, we were selling these for $330, taxes and shipping included. That means it comes out to approximately $285 Canadian. We're always talking Canadian dollars. $285, okay? So if you go on to eBay and these places, what are these going for now even? We know that they've dipped a little bit. They've dipped for sure, that's typical. This thing comes out, I've seen them selling for $400, $450 at the peak. They've dipped down where you can probably get them for $320, $325, depending where. Is it half taxes, the shipping and all that? It's about the same thing. We were selling them for about $330. There's still about $330, taxes and shipping included, with just a few percentages of threshold. Let's check it out. I don't want to go any further inside of this. And over the course of the next couple of weeks, let's go through each one of these blocks to give you an idea that if you could buy the product right now, okay, here's Throne of Eldraine, and you can notice that there's some of them have 2. I did not buy, for example, the Battle for Zen and Oath of the Gatewatch, the Zendikar block. I didn't get 2 of each. I didn't have enough money. You know, frankly, I bought whatever I could, and I might have bought 1 box for myself to open up with my kid, and I put another one aside. Or maybe I don't remember. Maybe I just bought some of the cards that I wanted. And as I started to have a little bit more of disposable income, I started to buy 2. I even got myself a Japanese version of War of the Spark. You know, Unstable. I've got a Modern Horizons, things like that. So let's go through it. Let's cut the intro there, and now let's look at going through eBay and a couple of other places. What does the Mirrodin block look like today? Let's see what let's see what it's worth. All right, guys. So you're gonna hear the audio has changed a little bit. The microphone that I'm using here is a very, very good microphone that we use for some of our other work. So I'm gonna go right on to Google. I haven't planned any of this, so let's sort of explore this together. I'm gonna click on eBay, and let's put in Scar. Now remember, again, right, Canadian Scars of Mirrodin. We're gonna start with Scars of Mirrodin booster box. Now remember, before I click the enter button here, I paid this for probably $140, but again, let's say that it would be at $147 right now. I paid this for $147 in the 40s, 10 years ago, and by all accounts, it didn't really cost me anything to put it aside and save it. So, Scars of Mirrodin. I haven't filtered anything. Let me close this up here. I haven't filtered anything, and so I'm not logged into my name or anything. I'm just, this is what my first how do you say, results are looking at. So 483. Remember, we cannot forego. You can't just say, yeah, well, you know what, I'm not gonna consider shipping or taxes or any of that stuff. We can't do that. You know, oh my God, look it down here. How to say, Alpha Investments, 653 Canadian plus 65 shipping. You're looking at over $700, $725 for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of filtering here, and I will go down to, we're going to look at what has been sold. You know, we want to see the sold listings to start with, and we'll even filter this by the pricing and shipping lowest first. So we want to get the rock bottom, what people, okay, it'll bring up a whole bunch of other stuff, but let's go right here. Okay. So what was sold on December 6th from the United States, $425 US, Canadian, excuse me, the C here is Canadian. It went through a bidding system, and it has $21 of shipping. Now, there's one other thing that we must not forget, especially if we're ordering from the United States. Let me see if I can, if I click on this and I go look at the original listing, do I have access to it? Yes, I believe this it is. Okay, import charges. Holy crow, $139.79 estimated and based on current bid. Okay, that's wrong. I have imported things from the United States before. The actual import costs at the end would probably be approximately anywhere between $20 and $30 Canadian, let's say 25. So we have got here $44 of shipping, $25 of import charges. That pushes us up to what? $70 plus our $425 here. We're looking at $495 Canadian, let's say $500. Remember, I paid $145 for this. It is currently selling for overall $500. Even if we know, okay, something else. Let me do a quick backspace here. Shipping for $21.90 is a US based sort of cost to get us into the international. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on Canada only. Canada only. Now the prices have actually gone up. I'm still on lowest first. Okay, there doesn't seem to be any. These are the only ones that sold in Canada recently. Is this one here, which was on November, how do you say, November 26 and November 19. Best offer was accepted, free shipping included, $499. Let's say that the guy offered him $450. Same thing over here, 46 bids, $20 in shipping. Now, the truth of the matter is that in Canada, shipping one booster box. So if you figure, I have a booster box here, right? Shipping just one booster box is approximately $15, $16. You can go and check this out on the Canada Post, how do you say, website. It costs about $15. The first thing that they're going to look at is the size of the product. The second thing they're going to look at is the weight. So, you know, one stamp is going to be for an envelope that's under 30 grams that measures less than 5 millimeters. When you're into this size, you're into a, how do you say it? It's no longer becomes an envelope. It becomes a, I forget what the term is. Anyway, you're now shipping a box. It's going to start by weight. I forget off the top of my head. I think that one of these weighs somewhere around 2 pounds. So it's a little higher, the shipping costs here, than you would have actually done had you shipped it yourself. But you got to remember, the person who shipped it probably had to buy a box, probably had to buy some craft filler or some other type of filler to protect the box, used his or her gas, blah, blah, blah. Basically sold it for $445. If I was to do the same thing today at the low rate of $445, I would be generating a profit of $300. So I have essentially invested $1 and made $2 on top of that. It's 3 times more the amount of money over a 10-year period. That's pretty good, you know. And this is just Scars of Mirrodin. Let's try the other one, which is Mirrodin Besieged. Let's do the same thing here. Here it is. We have it up here. Mirrodin Besieged. Mirrodin Besieged. Let's do the same thing. It's already set by lowest first. Have these changed. I want it Canada only. Actually, you know what? Just for the fun of it, let's start with North America. And let's look at sold items. The same thing. Where is that? Down here. Sold listings. Okay. So I've got to get into... Okay, here we are. Sold listings for Mirrodin Besieged. This is Japanese. We don't want that. We're going to go for English. Remember, this is only English stuff. So, Mirrodin Besieged, $305. This was an ongoing auction. $30, $20. from United States, so you can be sure that there's $20 of at least $25 of import charges. So what do we have here? 3 plus 20 plus 25 is 350. You are paying it 350. It was purchased for 145. It is $200 more expensive. Let me do it let me do a Canada only to see if any were sold in Canada recently. Not many. Okay, so yeah, this one was sold for $300, free shipping from Canada. That's actually a pretty darn good price, $300. But remember, it's essentially doubling the value of the box that you paid around $140, $145 for. The last one that we know of is New Phyrexia. I'll do a little bit of the same thing. I'm going to go North America, and I'm going to go for sold listings. And we'll scroll down right here. Here we go. New Phyrexia is pumping iron here, right? So holy crap, $97 in shipping costs. Holy crap. From United States, this guy is asking basically for $445 plus 100 plus the 25 of import charges. You know that it's not costing him $100 to ship it. I don't know if he's shipping it in some gold box or something. But basically, it's costing you $600, and this is the way that you can see all of the other numbers have sold: $650, $676. Calculate shipping, so forth. Let's do the Canada only to see if any were sold in Canada. Look at this. Oh, this guy is Canadian. Holy crap! $100 of shipping. Jeez. It does say from United States. Do we not have any? No, I see 12 items found from international sellers. So none of them are available here in Canada on eBay. Oh, this one's Japanese. I apologize. This one's Japanese. Okay, so English, 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 English. Look, the box is selling for $700. I mean, holy shit. That box was bought for $145. Is it worth it? Yes, you have to find a buyer. Yes, you know, it's only worth what people are willing to pay for it. But is it worth it? You know, it comes down to what is the expected value of a New Phyrexia box. I don't know by heart. Let me go back to let me just sort of crap. Let me go back to this one again. So New Phyrexia. I'm not going to put any of the filters on. Let me see if they've all been taken off. Item price, item location. Okay, no, I don't want that. I want default, and I don't want sold listings. Let's take that out, and we'll go with that. And let's go from highest first for the fun of it, so that we get yeah, so $700, you know, from the United States again. So this particular product is going somewhere between, well, this again is Japanese. So if we stay in the English available ones, it's going somewhere between $650 and $750. Factor in from the United States, factor in everything else. Just for the fun of it, let's see if this one has import charges. Jeez, $231. This is wrong. The import charges will be around $25, $30. Oh, international prior to shipping to Romania. Oh, no, okay. That's probably because of my my VPN over here. So, okay, so that's the idea. So we started with these three of them. Is it worth it? Well, if I invested 3 times 145, which is going to be $425 basically, selling just the Mirrodin Besiege, the very first one, I would virtually make my money back. My overall profit would be about $1,000 for these products. So yeah, you know, I mean, I think that it is definitely worth it. Let's pause the video here. Let's stop it here. The next ones I'm going to go through as I turn my mouth from the mic is going to be the Innistrad block, right? So the next one after that is the Innistrad block, which is Innistrad Dark Ascension Avacyn Restored. And let's check it out. Let's see in the next video how it's matured. Remember, this is 2010. I'm generating somewhere around, I don't know, say an $800 to $1,000 profit depending where I sell it. Is it worth it? Oh yeah. Do they all work like this? No. We know that had I collected a little bit prior back, you know, some of the other blocks before that, which were, what did we have here? We had the Alara block, we had the Shadowmoor block. Those are probably worth even more right now. Not all of them will mature like this. But I figure if I have $1,000 of value in those 3 boxes, and you distribute that across another 5 or 6 boxes, you can't lose, right? So I'm going to finish on that. And remember, I think Rudy had a video on this recently. It's not about the value of what's in the box. You know, when you think about it, it's going to be what a person is willing to pay for this box because of the emotional attachment around it. We'll talk about that in the next video. Guys, take care. Hope you enjoyed this video. A few more on their way. Take care.